Welcome to the REKAP Lunch Hour with Guff, me, Ryan McGuffey, in the REKAP studios. Happy Thursday, everybody. Back in the flesh. Look at this new gear. Check that out. You guys have been barking about gear for a long time, about lunch hour gear, REKAP gear. Well, guess what? There's some coming to a shop near you. We've made a deal with Clark Street Sports. Those of you in the Chicago area, and quite frankly, if you're not in the Chicago area, my guess is that you probably know about our friends over at Clark Street. We have a deal in place with Clark Street Sports, and very soon, not yet, we're just kind of showing off we're going to have some Cubs colored ones. We're going to have White Sox colored ones. We have REKAP merch coming to Clark Street Sports. It'll be available online for you guys, hopefully as early as next week. So that's pretty awesome. We're jacked up about that. Cap and I met with them and our friends over at Clark Street, our guy Art, taking care of us as we have, there we go. Kind of the blue. I have a couple other colors over there right now to experiment with and play with here on the REKAP Lunch Hour. So let's get off and running. The chat's already full. Look at this, Landon G. Give me one of those Double Dare style REKAP shirts. Hey man, look at Pablo. I'm getting that shirt. Astros. Hey Guff, great shirt. Look at this. Cap, they're barking. They want the shirts. They want it. The real Phil Simms, styling and profiling, big baller and shot caller. We see you, Guff. Dude, we got all kinds of stuff.
When are you giving that away?
What's that?
NASCAR.
NASCAR tickets? No tickets today. We're going to give tickets away. Katie's got all kinds of creative way to give tickets. Jimmy McGill, I believe, the big winner yesterday. We already got the email. Jimmy, if you're on here, you're going to the NASCAR street race in about a month from now. Check out all the people talking about the shirt. Jess, blue and orange, always looks good. Pablo, looking forward to seeing the Sox REKAP shirt. They do have the logo in silver and black, so that'll be really, really cool. So glad you guys have jacked up about the shirts. Like I said, coming to Clark Street Sports online, hopefully as soon as next week. The second that is live, Cap and I, we will be pushing that stuff out on all of our platforms, all of our videos, et cetera, where you guys can go. Becky, I'm always worried about Becky because she lives day to day with the Cubs. And she said, the Cubs sucked yesterday. Guff, are you okay with a 4-5 road trip? Yes, I am. You know why? Because when I look at the standings, the Chicago Cubs are comfortably in first place. Maybe a little uncomfortably for you, Becky, but when you have a 5-game lead on June 12th, there are exactly three divisions that can say that. The New York Mets have a 5-game lead on the Phillies because the Phillies have struggled lately. And the Detroit Tigers have a 7-game lead on the Minnesota Twins because they're the best team in baseball. Every other division, not so much. I'm okay with it. You know why? You get the Pittsburgh Pirates for 4 starting tonight. Cap will be in the bleachers. Paul Skeens tomorrow. I don't say you have to. I don't like saying you have to do something. I think 3 out of 4 this weekend would be a good start. You get the Brewers. This is a big stretch for the Cubs. You got a lot of divisional games the rest of the month here. You got the Brewers, you got the Pirates, you got the Cardinals at the end of the month. We'll know a lot about the Cubs come July 1. Eric says, regarding the Cubs' tough road trip for them, now let's start this 10-game homestand with a win. I would give up a top prospect and maybe a pitcher for Chris Sale. Okay, I need names, Eric, because there are some people thinking, as happened yesterday on ESPN 1000, they're talking Cade Horton for Chris Sale. I think that's asinine. First of all, the Braves are doing that in a second. Okay, it's where they are. Yes, they love Chris Sale, but Cade Horton gives them a guy that a lot of people are thinking pretty highly on for 6 years. I would get, maybe if it costs Ben Brown in a prospect, I'd be comfortable with that. Cade Horton, no. I think you have the prospect capital to get a deal done for a guy like Chris Sale. They need a frontline starter ASAP, says Eric. Hopefully Shota comes back soon. He has been throwing in Arizona and rookie ball. He will be back sooner than later. I would like to stack somebody with Shota, though, to be quite honest with you. Okay, I think you've gotten about as much as you could ever ask for from Colin Ray and Matthew Boyd. By the way, this fine program brought to you by Hooters, originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations nearest you. Much more on Hooters coming up. Of course, the blueberry lemonade, the drink of the month, $8. It's worth it, man. The bullet bourbon, that blueberry puree, trust me, I've tried it, especially on a hot day like yesterday. Landon, baseball sequel announced today. Really? I didn't even see that. 98-year-old Mel Brooks, Rick Moranis, and Bill Pullman are all coming back. May the Schwartz be with us. That's awesome. Landon, what a great reference. Appreciate you dropping that. I did not hear that yet. So that's fantastic stuff. Shout out to Owen White for saving the Sox bullpen last night. Yeah, dude, Owen White kept today winnable for the White Sox. Davis Martin, my guy, goes today for the White Sox. But he came in. Sean Burke did not have much yesterday whatsoever. Okay. Sean Burke was beat up early and often. It was 3-0 after 1. And then Owen White comes in out of nowhere and just wears it. And I think when you can have a dude like that, I'm going to give you Owen White's numbers here in a second. Owen White, 4 1/3, 3 earned, 7 hits, 5 Ks, 2 walks. Dude, talk about saving the bullpen. Sean Burke goes 3 2/3, 7 earned, 8 hits, and Owen White does the rest. And the entire bullpen gets a day. That's huge. OD away last week. Glad to be back. I want to hear Godfather's thoughts on what he'd give up for an ace. And I feel Guff is going to start another heater after yesterday. Yeah, OD. I'm glad you missed last week because it wasn't a heater. And the big over in the A's-Angels game, it scared the hell out of a lot of you guys. You were talking about those are 2 terrible teams, a big number. Don't fear. Trust me, I do the research for you guys. Okay? And sometimes you got to wear it. Cap and I just went shopping for a bunch of first-round leaders at the U.S. Open because it's completely wide open on an insanely tough course. And the prices on some of these guys, I've spent $10 in stupider shit. I can tell you that right now. Oh, look who it is. It's my mother-in-law chiming in on the show. She's so happy. She's been trying to figure out how to get in the show for a long time. Look at her. It's almost Island time. Planning to watch the Pacers Monday night, I hope. Of course. I'll be with a bunch of family that are from Indianapolis on vacation, so you know that we're planning things around the Indiana Pacers. A once hated team in my house growing up. I'm rooting for them now. Why wouldn't I? Right? Why wouldn't I? But I say we're still doing the lunch hour next week. You guys know I'm not missing this. It might have a much different backdrop. It might make a few of you jealous, but I'll come with you. Guff, am I worried about Ben Brown? I'm not. I'm worried about Ben Brown maybe long-term as a starter, but I want to see what happens after. And we asked this question yesterday. Asked this question about whether or not you want Ben Brown in the bullpen. I think he could be a dude there. Pablo, you know where I'm at. I have to skip over all these shirts because I use those to start the show. Astros pushing yesterday's blowout aside. I'm very impressed by Chase Mydroth, Edgar Carroll, and the young White Sox. Robert has even started to hit a little bit. Yeah. If we can get our guy, Luis Robert, hitting for a month and then get him out of here, count me in as a win. I just am done with – I would love to see Luis Robert not be a White Sox come the trade deadline. It's just time to move on. There's too much other things going on in a good way. How about Mydroth comes in yesterday, by the way, in the 7th inning, of course, gives you a good at-bat and lines went into right field. Like that dude just knows how to hit. All he does is he just gives you an approach. I have a friend of mine out there who thinks, oh, if he was a good team, he'd be the 8th or 9th best player hitting 8th or 9th. I'm like, dude, the White Sox haven't had a guy like this. By the way, here's what he's doing in June. He's 13 of 35. That's a .371 batting average. His on-base percentage, .476. Chase Mydroth, 7 walks, 6 strikeouts in June. He is an absolute dude. Sam, when do I think the Sox will be contenders again? I've said many times on this couch, I said it to Chris Getz, who sat here, I don't expect them to be contenders. And contenders for me is you're contending for a wild card spot, okay? I'm not going to say World Series contenders because I don't know. I don't have a date for you on that. But I'll say 2027 for contention for a wild card spot. Now, let's hope that this thing doesn't all fail and baseball has a major lockout. That's a whole nother story. Kyle, happy Friday Eve. Loving the merch for the recap. You got any hoodies for colder weather? Love the merch. Kyle, I promise you, my man, there will be hoodies. There will be T-shirts. We might even have fun things in certain cities that we take a jab at. You know, maybe a St. Louis or a Green Bay, to say a few. And we might have to have an Aaron Rodgers style shirt made for when we kick his ass for the first time in November when Pittsburgh comes crawling to town. I like that idea. So stay tuned. We'll have to see if that idea happens. And Aaron, yeah, if you can hear me, I'm with Cap. I do love the idea of Aaron Rodgers, but it's time to end it. Was downtown, saw some great advertising for Street Home Chicago this summer. Nice. Eli, I've heard Colson Montgomery is going to be brought up after the stop, right? James Fegan, he said it. White Sox, I'll talk about. I do expect Colson Montgomery to be up here in the next 4. I'd say after the All-Star break, Colson Montgomery will be here. Sox recap shirt, awesome, says Jess. Yeah, we'll have the blue, red, and white for Cubs. We'll have the silver, black, and white for White Sox. We're going to have the Navy Bears. Here, throw me that Navy one over there. We have a Navy one, so we'll have a Bears colored one.
Katie's about to steal that one.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn, Katie.
Or white.
We'll have the Bears. These are just experimental colors. What is that? Is that like a cream, if you will? Look at that.
Ooh.
Oh, hey, Katie. Hey. Look at Katie making. Katie's giving us like a Price is Right showdown right here. Look at her. That's black. But we'll have all kinds of colors that match our teams here in Chicago. We'll do a Bulls and Blackhawks one as well. Clyde, Cubs need an ace starter and an ace closer, so Daniel Palencia is not overworked. You always ignore me about the Northwest Indiana Hooters. And who do you think Chicago Blackhawks drafted 3? Clyde, why don't you put how many times have I said Portage, Indiana Hooters on this show? If anyone hits the number, which is well over 20, Clyde, I'm not going to say it every day, my man. I do love you. I don't ignore you. And I honestly will defer to Kyle as to who the Blackhawks drafted number 3. Speaking of Kyle, there he is. I expected the Cubs to go 4-5, so not surprised. Bonus for the Cubs. Both Milwaukee and St. Louis are struggling too. Let's turn the page against Pittsburgh starting tonight. Clyde says the Cubs are 2-6 against Philadelphia. Boo. You know what? It doesn't matter, Clyde. All it matters is what you're doing against your division right now. And if they play Philadelphia in the playoffs, you go at them. They're going to look different if that's the case. Pirates will be a good rebound for the Cubs. The hell's going on in here? Yeah, that happened to me once in this place, and I literally jumped off the couch. Still, this show is a complete free-for-all today, folks. Still have to stay on your speaking of staying on your toes, this place sounds like it's up for grabs. I'm waiting for the power. Wait for the power to go out again. Allows for time to regroup. When is Shota expected to recap? When's Shota expected back?
Probably 2 weeks.
2 more weeks on Shota, so let's call it July 1. Godfather, there you are. I was an offset printer for 54 years, used to work 70 hours a week to support my family. So millionaire ball played, need a day off when they just had a string of days off over the last few weeks. Godfather, man, we love you on this show. Cade Horton for sale, no shot. Owen Casey and Ben Brown for sale, sign me up. Kyle, you and I think a lot. Bill Pullman died, actually. That's in response to Spaceballs remake coming out, Thomas. That's a note for Landon. Chris Sale for Casey, James Triantos, Christian Hernandez, and Will Sanders, who starts for Iowa today. Dustin, that's a good package. Multiple top 100 prospects, a 4-for-1. I like it over there. Bird Dog, I'd do Ben Brown and a prospect for sale in a heartbeat. Get Brown out of here. Just keep in mind, if you guys think like a team's like, oh, sign me up for a guy who's struggling. A team has to see a guy in the talent and go, that dude we can fix, and we like him a lot. I've seen some of the Hooters restaurants are closing. Yes, Becky, that is true. But the fine people at Hooters with us, it's 2 separate companies. I know it seems weird depending on where you reside. We are okay. Hooters is going to be with us for quite some time. Aaron Savale requested a trade from the Brewers. He got sent to the pen. That won't really make sense for the Cubs. Cap is like the entire walls are falling down over here. I have no idea what's going on. I feel like it's better to do this in a preschool right now than to do it here in the recap offices. That's the feeling I get behind me. The prospect Guff, I would consider Ballesteros and Cade. Eric saying Cade Horton. Okay. I don't think I think the Atlanta Braves do that in a second. Good afternoon to the real Phil Simms. Good win by the Pacers last night. Still see them back in Oklahoma City, tied at 2. You said 7 games yesterday. It's starting to look more and more like that. Kyle, huge win for the Pacers. Tyrese keeps embarrassing the Bulls front office for passing on him. If the Pacers take it, that's 2 divisional rivals to win titles since 21. Cavs aren't going anywhere, and may take it in the near future. Oh, Thomas coming in with sorry, Bill Pullman's still alive. I was thinking of Bill Paxton. I love when we kill people off and bring them back all in a matter of 15 minutes here on the show. Just welcoming my mother-in-law, Margie, to the program. Millionaire ball players need a day off. Prima donnas. I know, Godfather. We hear you, brother. We hear you. I was right about the 4-5 road trip. Now I'm thinking about a 7-3 homestand. Look at, we are confirming deaths here. Bill Paxton died in 2017. Good actor. Good dude. Yeah, this is we're all over the place today. Who I would give up for a starter is irrelevant. Ricketts will not pay. Screw the fans. Godfather with his top rope mentality all the time. The Oilers season is on the line tonight. They don't win tonight. Series is over. It is. You know where I might watch it tonight, though? I might go to Hooters tonight. Last day of school in my house, right? That equals a party, probably a Big Daddy mug. I'd go Kona Big Wave over the Mango Cart. But if you're looking to keep that summer figure like we're trying here, Michelob Ultra, of course, and the Samuel Adams Summer Ale. Those are all the Big Daddy summer specials right now, the Big Daddy mugs. You guys know what I think about the blueberry lemonade. That's $8 all month. The drink of the month at Hooters, originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 area locations nearest you. I also like to take advantage of the order.hooters.com. Type in the order, slide by, pick it up, say hello to some of the friends, maybe slam a Big Daddy mug and get the cinnamon pretzel bites to go. Because you know, in the house of the McGuffies, it is the staple of every Hooters to go order. Back to the program. Godfather, you mean I don't have to pay $75 for that cool shirt? No, because the money's not going to the Ricketts, man. We're not gonna hike up the prices for you, Godfather. You're gonna have to pay for it. Unfortunately, you guys have asked for merch. We're finally listening. Low key trade for Sandy and Chris Sale would be set. What would be low key if you're trading for Alcantara and Chris Sale, two of the last 3 Cy Young winners? You're not low keying that. Those would be big time deals. Saw a group in Atlanta is looking to bring a franchise back. That would make one division with 9 teams, as each division has 8 right now. Maybe third time's a charm in Atlanta. I don't see. If you're bringing a hockey team back to Atlanta, that's a fail to me. Atlanta can't keep a hockey team. Put a hockey team in any. There should be hockey team. I'd rather have a hockey team in Indianapolis. You know, they have good. Look at the Colts, the Pacers. Give us another Midwest. Atlanta, they have trouble supporting their own teams. Now you want to put a hockey team down in a city? It's not a hockey. Kind of out on that. You get a chance, you blow it, you're gone. There's other cities that deserve a shot. Eric, I'm going to say 7-3 homestand for the Cubs. But even Milwaukee, by the way. Milwaukee, Minnesota, come on. Wisconsin, hockey, it just goes together. Jimmy, hey, Guff, what's the email again? I want to check I sent it correctly. Jimmy, we got your email, dude. I promise. Matter of fact, I saw this. As long as it's the right email you want us to send back to you in terms of forwarding the tickets, we got your email. I promise you. I've already seen it. Joe, do you think Colson Montgomery's up before the All-Star break? I think he's up certainly after the All-Star break. I think he is. Good afternoon, Erica. I think it's time to insert Chris Flexen in the rotation and move Ben Brown to the bullpen. My thoughts? You might have to stretch Flexen back out now that he's been in the bullpen for over a month. I don't hate the idea. If you feel like you're not I think Ben Brown deserves one more crack. My opinion is I would do the opener thing again with him one last time. It worked really well when Drew Pomerantz was the opener for him a couple starts ago. I'd give him another crack with the opener and see where it goes. If he gives up another 6-7 runs, then I think everything's on the table until you trade for other pitchers. Jess, as a Steelers fan, I'll happily get a shirt. Pittsburgh, where senior quarterbacks go to retire. Trust me, if the Bears, there will be a shirt. I've already spoken into existence. Let's be honest. Could the Sox be a player for Kyle Schwarber in the offseason? David, my goodness, I love your thoughts. I thought there should have been a Kyle Schwarber player when it made sense to sign him for a team that needed a guy like that and the fan base could latch onto. Schwarber would be the perfect White Sox. The problem is the timing and the contract don't go together. I don't see Schwarber's going to be such in demand by even the Phillies. He wants to stay a Philly, and he wants to win. I just, unless you're paying him something that's completely like you're paying him $150 million while everyone else is giving him $100, which the White Sox aren't going to do, then maybe, but I don't see it. Great call with the hoodie, Kyle. Love the idea of a section at the Cubs and Sox games with these shirts on that say recap day at the ballpark. God, you guys are the best, man. I'm so glad we're doing this. I think the orange and blue are Oklahoma City colors. You know, I didn't think about that, Becky. But you know what? You're kind of right. So you'll have to buy the Oklahoma City version of the shirt. I didn't even think about that. Eli, that's what I meant. It'll be brought up by the All-Star break. James Fegan said on White Sox Talk podcast. I've been to the Maryville, Indiana Hooters, Clyde. I'm a Portage guy. All I did when I was in Portage was kick Maryville's ass. It's a fact. I don't think we ever lost to them. Now, you have to go back a long time to say that, but who's counting? Jess, Aaron Rodgers has to prove me that he's still a decent quarterback. Glad the Roonies and Tomlin made him attend minicamp. I'm expecting the Bears to make sure the Park District cleans him up. Just one of my favorites of all time on the show. Bizarro Clyde, thank you for always acknowledging me on all your platforms. I love Clyde's alter ego of Bizarro Clyde. He's my favorite. Cap, are you okay? Don't get injured. People are chiming in. No one cared. Katie she made an appearance. Katie made an appearance. They know Katie's just fine.
I'm fine.
I agree, Thomas. Everybody's worried. I'm more worried. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm more worried about Cap tearing down the damn office and having us have.
Who do you think is the backbone around here?
Right there. Is there a sound? Can we play a sound effect here for that?
I don't think they call it the Katie.
Oh, gee. Get this. Hey, this is an amateur hour. This is called the REKAP Lunch Hour.
Yeah, I got to go.
Yeah, that's the first time he knew how to use a mic because I had to get it in front of his face.
Learn headspace.
My God, the amount of comments are here. Oh, Candace McGuffey chiming in with a comment. Candace McGuffey chiming in.
Wow. I thought you only watched the recap.
She just commented, Guff equals backbone.
Oh, wow.
Someone's getting something tonight in the McGuffey house. Okay, there's a reward. Candace McGuffey from the top rope. Now, Wayne giving Cap some love with the what's up, Cap. Let's go. Kyle coming with a what's up. Now everyone's excited. Cap's here. Hey, I brought up the merch. How do I get one? Wayne, you've been a guy. We're getting merch. We've done a deal with Clark Street Sports. It'll be available online as soon as next week. Trust me, the second it's alive online, I will share. Candace also follows up with I love you, Cap. Just so we're clear. Cap's swallowing. Squirrel. She followed up with an I love you, Cap.
I love you, Candace.
I'd give up 4 to 5 prospects for 2 aces. I would too. Brian, do you think Jackson Wiggins gets some bullpen run this year or he'll be up next year? I think everything is on the table in terms of that. If Kyle Schwarber goes back to Chicago, says Josh, I want it to be us. Then again, Tucker PCA extensions, but could you imagine Tuck, PCA, and Schwarbs? That's a good batting order. Dude, that would be absolutely incredible. Atomic saying Kansas City, Indianapolis, Hartford, Quebec. The list goes on. Atlanta has failed twice already. Chef, too old to go to the race, but I love Shane Van I don't even know how to say his name. Gisbergen to win. He won it 2 years ago in the rain shortened race. That thing was crazy, the amount of rain that fell in that particular time. Record rainfall. Speaking of, you know what? You guys are bringing up NASCAR. Let's talk about NASCAR. It's the NASCAR Street Race, July 5th and 6th. We are proud to partner with NASCAR all month long as we promote the NASCAR Street Race, the only street race on the NASCAR circuit, NASCARchicago.com for more details, including details on the grounds passes that we have at least 10 more pair to give away this month. We have reserve pass tickets to give away. All of them get you into both races, July 5th and 6th, the Xfinity Series, the NASCAR Cup Series, the Zach Brown Band concert, which is July 5th. That's going to be awesome. It's all in Grant Park. It's the only place to get free tickets in the city. It's right here on the REKAP. We're going to have interviews with drivers all month long, including live here on the REKAP Lunch Hour as the race gets closer in July. We will have got 2 drivers here on the program for you guys to fire questions at. I think it's super cool. Stay tuned for our next giveaway. We will be giving away tickets all month long. We have plenty to give away. Speaking of which, time to talk the bet of the day. Coming back. Pablo, here you are, buddy. Here you are. We are back. Thank God. We couldn't keep losing. We've been on a little bender of losses. I went shopping yesterday, went behind the curtain to find two terrible baseball teams score some runs. We had the A's and Angels over 10 at a 3:05 start. It was 5-0 at one point, I believe. A's a 6 spot from the Angels. Angels win at 6-5. Kyle Hendricks, our old friend Kyle Hendricks, getting the win. So we've got the Aviators back. The colors of summer permeating through the screen here on the Recap Lunch Hour, brought to you by Hooters. We got all kinds of action today. Now I'm counting. Here's what I'm doing. I'm giving you one pick, okay? But I'm going to give a parlay. I'm not counting it in the win and loss. If it hits, it's a freebie. There's a lot of things I like today. The Cubs run line, I really like the Cubs. Andrew Haney's supposed to get the start for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He did leave his last start with discomfort. It wasn't discomfort, it was cramping. He's expected to be okay. The Cubs blew him up in April. They went off on him, had homered a couple of times. This just feels like the right time to get right. It's a warm day at Wrigley Field. Jameson Taillon's pitching against his former team. Taillon's been really good of late. I really like the run line. The Pirates have been playing better, but I think the Cubs offense is going to get right tonight. I'm late, especially at plus money on the last place team in the division. I think the Cubs are I think they're actually undervalued here. I think it should be more like minus 115 instead of plus 105. So the Cubs run line. Then I'm giving you, I think the Stanley Cup Series is over. I do. I think the best team's on the ice in Florida, but I'm going to give you the Cubs run line. Davis Martin has been a dude lately. Like that guy, you guys know, if you haven't listened to the latest White Sox recap podcast, Davis Martin, a guest on the show, really, really good stuff from Davis Martin. Speaking of really good stuff from Davis Martin, he's had 5 straight starts of 6 innings or more, 7 strikeouts in his last start against the Royals, 3-2, 3-5. He's actually been dominating. He struck out 5 against the Astros in his start earlier this year. So I'm going to lay the 4 strikeouts, and I'm laying the puck line. I'm giving you kind of a free, fun plus 736 parlay. Pablo's jacked about the Aviators. Why don't the Cubs call a play? Because everyone does getaway day lineups. Some people need Bubs, Guff. YouTube needs to get their shit together and notify me when you're on. The stupid bell's not doing its job. Sorry, Bubs. Let me look into that for you. Bird Dog says Panthers money line and over 6.5. Also, what's up, dude? Good to see you as well. Remember, this name for the Hawks to draft at number 3, Anton Frondell. I love you, Kyle. You definitely are our Hawks guy. I'm going to get Boyle on, by the way. He's still on vacation. Dude's got a good gig. Took his daughter to an internship, and now he's on a bender. I like it. Do you think the Cubs could DFA Turner at some point in favor of bringing up Jonathan Long? Would they bring up Long to prove himself before? I don't think they're going to cut a guy that has a resume like Turner and owed $6 million for Jonathan Long until they see something from Jonathan Long. All right. A lot of comments in here I have not gotten to, and I understand that. Okay? You're mean for mocking me, Bizarro Clyde, says Clyde. That's why I say I love I kind of love. Kyle's agrees, wouldn't bring another NHL franchise to Atlanta. Jess, I have the same issue with YouTube, Bubs. I've just put I put an alarm on my phone for 12:30. Jess, man, you guys are awesome. You know how to make a guy blush. I can tell you that. Recap merch coming to the shops near you. OD, put in a nasty plus 935 ticket before 8 a.m. Cubs run line, Mets money line, Panthers money line, Evan Bouchard over 3.5 shots on goal. It kind of mirrors in a lot of ways what I just gave you. Not everything, but yeah. Pick of the litter. Which running back are you trading for? James Cook? I love James Cook. I don't see why the Buffalo Bills would piss off their star quarterback and trade him because he's so good out of the backfield catching the football. I still think a deal gets done there. And good on James Cook for showing up to mandatory minicamp, even though he said he was going to hold out. He's one of the few that said, you know what? It's better to be here than not. I think that is good. That goodwill carries over. I hope a deal gets done because I love Josh Allen. He's my favorite player in the NFL that's not a Chicago Bear. Go Sox from Fresno, California. That's what I love about this show, man. We have people watching in Jerusalem right now. That's a fact. Eli's in Jerusalem. Becky's in Tulsa. Dan's in Fresno. Lip Rippers in Florida. You guys see, like, I know where you guys are. You guys are good people. Appreciate all the love, the support this show has gotten. I mean, I look at the chat right now. There's got to be 100 comments in here. There's got to be 100 comments. It's awesome. You guys are the best. I appreciate you greatly. I'm telling you right now, we have a blast on this show. We have a blast in this office, and we're going to start getting the merch out to you. I'd like to get like a lunch, like some kind of lunch hour, like fan club thing. So let's start thinking about that. Jess, you're really good with ideas. Start coming up with them so we can figure out if we can get a specific lunch hour, something branded lunch hour for the recap. The bet of the day, the Cubs run line. I'm not counting the parlay in the plus or so if we hit this parlay, guys, and you play it, that's a juicy one. It's a juicy one. Back to 1-2 this week, 3-6, and we're gonna claw our way back to 500 this month. You see the overall though. We're over 500. We're putting bets together, and we keep on keeping on. Y'all have a great day. For those of you who are finally done with school, whether you're a teacher like the lovely Mrs. McGuffey, or you're a student like the beautiful Reese McGuffey, or in between, enjoy today. Have a glass of something cold, and it's been a great long year. It's been an awesome show. As always, brought to you by my fine partners at Hooters. Of course, NASCAR, big fan of the program. We're going to be giving tickets away again. June 25th, we're at promotion for that coming up soon to go to our Hooters watch party between the Cubs and Cardinals. Jess, a recap lunchbox or cooler. See, Jess, it's really good stuff. You guys have a great day. Enjoy the weather. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be good, man. Just be good. Just be good people. It's the easiest thing you can do is be a good person. We'll see you tomorrow for a Friday edition of the Recap Lunch Hour with Guff, me, Ryan McGuffey. It's all brought to you by Hooters, originalhooters.com. Guess what's not working? The animation. There it is. Originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations nearest you. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. We'll see you.